Hi Frank, we are today in NIORT for the grand opening of the Leach facility in NIORT. And I'm pleased to receive you today and have just two questions.
Sure.
Why did you invest in European companies and French and European companies?
Well, I think the obvious reason is the one that applied to us, and that is that the aerospace industry in France and Europe in general is very vibrant. And companies like Airbus and Eurocopter and Dassault and Thales and Snecma and others are all very successful aerospace and defense companies. And I think if you want to do business in Europe or in France, you have to have a local presence. You have to have facilities here. You have to have engineers and commercial people who understand the local environment and can speak in the engineering language, in French or German or whatever. So I think if you want to do business in Europe, you have to show that you're serious, and you have to be willing to invest in facilities here in France and in Europe. So for that reason, and the very attractiveness of the aerospace and defense industry here in Europe, we've acquired several companies.
Okay. Your global company is almost a 10,000 people company.
Yes.
1/5 is in France.
Yes.
And do you notice some specific things on your plants in France or on the people in France, perhaps?
Yeah. Two things probably come to mind immediately. One is there's still a very strong emphasis in France on in universities on the math and sciences and also engineering. And in the US we have a big problem in that our young people are less attracted to the sciences and to engineering. So there is a shortage of new graduates from the universities in engineering, especially things like aeronautical engineering. So I've noticed that in France there's still a strong emphasis in the universities on mathematics, and there's a good number of students who specialize in aeronautics or engineering. The second thing that surprised me in France is that aerospace industry is still seen really as a high-tech industry. In the US, the emphasis, young people want to go more into IT in the business, web-based businesses and so on. They do that as well here in France, but there is still a very strong reputation, I would say, for the aerospace industry. And young people are still attracted to aerospace. It still has a very high opinion among the French people as being a high technology industry. So those two things, I think, surprised me about the acquisitions that we've done here in France.
Good. Yeah, I learned also during this meeting that you bought also companies in French Canada.
Yeah.
So that French is the second language in your company.
Yeah.
That's. Do you try to learn French too? Is it important in your company?
You know, I'm an old guy. It's hard for an old guy to learn a new language, but I try. I think it's important for me as a U.S. citizen to be able to understand our employees in Bourges or Sarral or NIORT or Montreal. So I have to make an effort anyway, you know, to try to at least understand a little bit of French so that I can show that I'm trying. I don't think I'll ever be good, but at least I can try.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
You're welcome.
Bye.